The Prophet Muhammad cried so hard that his beard became completely soaked with tears. What he saw in that moment broke him in a way nothing else ever did. And when you hear what made the strongest man on earth weep like this, you'll understand why this story has made millions cry for over 1400 years. There are 3 moments in the Prophet's life where his tears weren't just drops of water. They were tears that carried the weight of an entire nation. Tears that showed us what true love, true fear, and true heartbreak really look like. And by the end of this video, I promise you, you're going to see the Prophet in a completely different light. You're going to understand a side of him that most people never talk about. So stay with me, because what I'm about to share will change how you see everything. Here's the thing most people don't realize. We know the Prophet as this strong, brave leader who never backed down from any challenge. The man who united all of Arabia. The man who faced armies with just a handful of companions. The man who stood tall when everyone else fell apart. But what we forget is that he was also the most emotional person to ever walk this earth. He felt everything deeper than we could ever imagine. And that's exactly what makes these 3 moments so powerful. Because when someone that's strong breaks down, when someone that brave can't hold back their tears, something absolutely devastating is happening. These weren't just tears of sadness. These were tears that came from a place so deep inside his heart that even thinking about it now, 14 centuries later, still makes people cry. So what could possibly make a man like that weep? What could break someone who never broke? That's what we're going to explore right now. And I'm warning you, get your tissues ready, because once you hear these stories, once you really understand what was going through his mind and his heart, you won't be able to hold it back. The first time the Prophet cried in a way that shook everyone around him was when his son Ibrahim died. Now, Ibrahim was just a baby. He was only 17 months old. Imagine that. A little child who barely started walking, who barely started saying his first words, and the Prophet loved him so much. When Ibrahim got sick, the Prophet would visit him constantly. He would hold him, pray for him, and you could see the worry in his eyes. But as the days went by, Ibrahim got weaker and weaker, and then came that one morning when everything changed. The Prophet was holding Ibrahim in his arms when the baby took his last breath. And in that moment, something inside the Prophet just shattered. The companions who were there said the Prophet's eyes filled up with tears immediately. And these weren't silent tears. The Prophet started crying out loud. His voice was shaking. His whole body was trembling. And then he said something that broke everyone's heart. He said, "The eyes shed tears and the heart feels pain. But we only say what pleases our Lord. Oh, Ibrahim, we are deeply saddened by your departure." Now, here's what makes this even more emotional. Some of the companions were confused. They asked, "Oh, Messenger of Allah, you're crying?" Because they thought maybe crying was wrong. Maybe showing emotion was a sign of weakness. But the Prophet looked at them with tears streaming down his face and said, "This is mercy. Allah has placed mercy in the hearts of his servants." What he meant was, this is exactly what makes us human. This is what makes us different. The ability to feel, to love, to hurt. And the Prophet wasn't ashamed of his tears. He didn't try to hide them. He let everyone see that even prophets cry. Even the strongest people break when they lose someone they love. And this teaches us something so important. That crying doesn't make you weak. Feeling pain doesn't make you less of a believer. It makes you human. It makes you real. But here's the part that really gets me. After Ibrahim was buried, the Prophet went to his grave and just stood there crying. The companions said they had never seen him cry like that before. And when someone asked him why he was crying so much, the Prophet said something beautiful. He said, "I cry not because I doubt Allah's wisdom, but because my heart is filled with love and sorrow." And that is something Allah understands. That moment right there shows us that the Prophet didn't just teach us with his words. He taught us with his tears. He showed us that it's okay to grieve. It's okay to miss someone. It's okay to feel broken. Because even in that brokenness, there's still faith. There's still trust in Allah. And that's what real strength looks like. Now, the second moment that made the Prophet cry like never before happened during one of the most important nights of his life. This was the night when Allah showed him hellfire, when he saw with his own eyes what was waiting for people who turn away from the truth. And what he witnessed that night haunted him forever. The Prophet described how he was taken on a journey through the heavens. And at one point, Allah showed him a vision of hellfire. He saw the flames. He heard the screams. He saw people burning and crying out for help, but no help was coming. And among those people, he recognized faces. He saw people from his own nation. People who would come after him. People who would claim to follow him but would ignore his teachings. And that broke him in a way nothing else could. When the Prophet came back from that journey, the companions said he looked completely different. His face was pale. His eyes were red from crying. And for days, he couldn't stop weeping. He would stand in prayer at night and just cry and cry and cry. Sometimes he would cry so hard that they could hear him sobbing from outside the house. And when they asked him what was wrong, he would say, "I saw my nation. I saw what will happen to them, and I can't stop thinking about it." Here's what makes this story absolutely heartbreaking. The Prophet wasn't crying for himself. He knew he was safe. He knew Allah loved him. But he was crying for us, for you and me, for people he would never meet in this life. He was crying because he saw our struggles, our failures, our mistakes, and he wished he could save every single one of us from that pain. There's a narration where the Prophet said, "My heart aches for my Ummah." That's us. That's his nation. And he would spend entire nights in prayer just begging Allah to forgive us, just asking Allah to have mercy on us. He would say, "Oh Allah, my Ummah," over and over again until his voice would crack from exhaustion. Can you imagine caring about people you've never met that much? Can you imagine crying for strangers who won't even be born for hundreds of years? That's the kind of love the Prophet had for us. That's the kind of mercy that filled his heart. And when you really think about it, when you really let that sink in, how can you not cry? How can you not feel something in your chest when you realize that the Prophet cried for you specifically, that he prayed for you specifically, that he worried about you before you even existed? And this is why this moment breaks people, because we realize we're not alone. We realize that even in our darkest times, even when we feel like nobody cares, the Prophet already cared. He already cried for us. He already asked Allah to protect us. And that connection, that love across time and space, that's something that words can't even describe. But the third moment, the moment that truly broke the Prophet in a way nothing else did, happened right before he passed away. This is the one that makes even the strongest people break down. Because in this moment, the Prophet knew his time was ending. He knew he was about to leave this world. And all he could think about was whether he had done enough, whether his message reached everyone, whether his nation would stay on the right path after he was gone. The companions described how the Prophet gathered everyone together in his final days. He was extremely weak. He could barely stand, but he insisted on speaking to them one last time. And when he stood in front of them, his voice was shaking and tears were already falling from his eyes before he even said a word. He looked at all of them and he said, "I fear for you what I fear." And then he started crying, not just regular crying. The companion said the Prophet was sobbing so hard that his entire body was shaking. His shoulders were moving up and down. His beard was completely wet from tears. And everyone around him started crying too, because they had never seen him like this. They had never seen him this vulnerable, this scared, this heartbroken. And then the Prophet said something that still echoes through history. He said, "There will come a time after me when people will claim to be from my nation, but they will have nothing to do with me, and I will have nothing to do with them. They will call themselves Muslims, but their actions will be so far from Islam that I won't even recognize them." When he said this, the crying got even louder, because everyone understood what he meant. He was seeing the future. He was seeing how people would twist his teachings, how they would use Islam for their own benefit, how they would hurt each other in the name of religion. And the thought of that, the thought of his message being corrupted, was killing him inside. But then came the moment that truly broke everyone. The Prophet looked up at the sky with tears pouring down his face, and he raised his hands and said, "Oh Allah, have I conveyed the message? Oh Allah, bear witness that I have conveyed the message." And he kept repeating this over and over. Have I done enough? Did I teach them everything they need? Will they be okay without me? And Allah answered him right there in front of everyone. A verse was revealed that said, "This day I have perfected your religion for you and completed my favor upon you." And when the Prophet heard this, the companion said he cried even harder because he realized this was it. His mission was complete, his time was up, and now all he could do was hope and pray that his nation would remember what he taught them. In his final moments, the Prophet could barely speak, but witnesses said they heard him whisper one last thing. He whispered, "My Ummah, my Ummah, my Ummah." Those were among his last words. Not a prayer for himself, not asking for anything for himself. Just worried about us, just hoping we would be okay. Just crying for people he loved more than anything in this world, even though he would never see most of us with his own eyes. So now you understand why these tears matter so much. The Prophet didn't cry because he was weak. He cried because he was human. He cried because he loved deeper than any of us could imagine. When he lost his son, he showed us it's okay to grieve. When he saw hellfire, he showed us what real concern for others looks like. And when he was leaving this world, he showed us that true leadership means caring about your people, even in your final breath. These 3 moments reveal something beautiful about Islam, that our religion isn't cold, it isn't harsh. It isn't about hiding emotions or pretending to be strong all the time. It's about feeling everything fully, but never losing faith through it all. The Prophet cried, but he never complained. He felt pain, but he never turned away from Allah. And that's the lesson. That's what these tears teach us. Every time you feel overwhelmed, remember the Prophet cried too. Every time you feel heartbroken, remember the Prophet's heart broke too. And every time you feel alone, remember the Prophet already prayed for you. He already cried for you. He already asked Allah to protect you and guide you and forgive you. You were always in his heart, even though he never met you. And that kind of love, that kind of mercy, that's what makes this story live forever. If this touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today.